Home security technology has come a long way. Doorbell cameras such as Ring have become extremely popular in recent years, acting as an effective deterrent from potential robbers or any other kind of unwelcomed guests. Their ability to record video whenever someone comes within range to the front of a house or any other section of the house that they're installed in creates an added level of security to a person's home. With the millions of Ring doorbell cameras installed throughout America has come a lot of creepy footage, including the following. This first piece of footage was captured by the Ring camera in the LeMay household. It happened on a cold December night in 2019. A stranger hacked into the LeMay family's Ring security system and had watched them around their home, and for nearly 10 minutes, he interacted with 8-year-old Alyssa. Not only was he able to watch her, but he was able to communicate noises to her, as he had access to a second system placed in the girl's babysitter's room downstairs. Alyssa then heard music coming from upstairs in her bedroom, which she shared with her. Actually realized someone was watching her in the bedroom because the blue light from the Ring camera was blinking. Then, in a strange man's voice, she heard this.
Hello there.
The 8-year-old gasped and tried to figure out where the voice was coming from. She would pick up her toys to see if they were what was making the noises. She scanned the room, and moments later, the man started screaming a racial slur at her over and over until Alyssa responded by screaming this.
What? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
The man proceeded to tell her to go call her mom the racial slur and demand that she repeat it back to him. Moments later, the voice would reply to Alyssa asking who are you by saying he's her best friend, he's Santa Claus.
Who is that?
I'm your best friend. I'm Santa Claus.
Mommy!
I'm Santa Claus. Don't you want to be my best friend? I'm Santa Claus.
After all of this, the man tries to tell the girl she can do whatever she wants, including break things in her room.
I'm your best friend. You can do whatever you want right now. You can mess up your room. You can break your TV. You can do whatever you want.
The LeMay family, who resides in Memphis, Tennessee, hoped to use the device to keep an eye on their daughters while they played. The scary thing is that it took only a few days for the camera to be hacked. Perhaps the scariest thing is that no one knows how long he had access to the device. This could have gone on even longer if the hacker decided not to produce any sounds through the device. Put yourself in the little girl's shoes. Imagine hearing a creepy song playing in your bedroom, not knowing where it's coming from, only to realize that it's coming from a camera system that you set up in there, and that someone could be watching you. Now imagine waking up to that in the middle of the night. In another similar scenario, here's the footage from a Ring camera that was also taken over by a hacker who attempted to speak to a young girl while she was watching television.
What you watching? Hey, what show is that?
The father and homeowner, Adam Kerselik, had set up the Ring camera in his kitchen. In the footage, a voice can be heard speaking to his daughter after he momentarily leaves the room.
I've seen that show before. What season you on? Hello?
When Adam re-enters the room and opens the fridge, the voice says, "What are you eating?"
Hello? What are you eating? You hungry?
He looks around at first, rightfully confused as to where the voice could be coming from, though he eventually catches on and approaches the camera as he asks, "Who is this?"
Powering off. Hello. This is Ring.
Who is this? Who is this?
Adam disabled the camera shortly after the video ends, and he expressed his disappointment in Amazon's lack of security on their products. He said he was never advised to set up two-factor verification when he installed the camera 6 months prior. Because of the lack of security on the Ring devices, he has since taken down all his interior cameras. This and the Lemoy family's horror stories aren't the only ones of their kind though, as since 2019, over 10 other families in different states had reported that hackers have spoken to them through the devices. On November 12, 2019, the disturbing footage of a woman screaming for help was captured from a Ring doorbell's camera in a small neighborhood of Los Angeles around 11 p.m. The screaming is followed by a white vehicle speeding down the street with the trunk open, from which the screaming is coming from. Police were not aware of the doorbell footage until the following morning, but on the night of November 12th, they responded to a report of a possible kidnapping. Police couldn't find any evidence of a kidnapping at first. However, after the footage came to light, the LAPD reopened their investigation. A witness claimed she also heard a man say, "I'm sorry," which you can hear in the video at one point. The sad thing is, this was 2 years ago, and nothing ever surfaced with this. If this was an actual kidnapping, the kidnappee was never found. This was the footage captured around 3 a.m. on a man's Ring camera. Not much more information than that was shared. However, multiple conclusions can be drawn from what's seen. It starts with a masked woman seemingly trying to enter the man's house, until she notices the doorbell camera, at which point she stares into the camera for almost 40 seconds. Halfway into her disturbing gaze into the camera, she puts on a pair of goggle-type glasses and pulls the mask covering her mouth and nose up higher onto her face, clearly trying to mask her identity as much as possible. Before she walks away, she makes several hand gestures into the camera, then turns and appears to grab something from behind one of the walls of the house. As she slowly walks away from the house, you might assume she's leaving for good. However, you can see she continues to pace back and forth in front of the house until the video hits the 2-minute mark, at which point the doorbell camera is set to stop recording. After the video ends, however, according to neighbors, the woman was seen standing outside the house for at least another 20 to 30 minutes before finally disappearing. It's not known who this woman was, whether it be a crazy stalker ex-girlfriend or someone completely random. This begs the question, what could she have wanted with the owner of the house? But given everything the woman was wearing from head to toe, it's obvious she came to that house with intentions of masking her identity. Why is a question that may never be answered. And with this last one, we see a scene that seems like it was taken straight from one of the hundreds of stories I've read on the channel. Once again, at some off hour in the night, a woman approached the front door of a Reddit user's dad's friend's house somewhere on the east coast of the United States. The woman seems to have a slight smile on her face at first, as she looks around the front door of the house all confused like. She stands there for 2 full minutes at least, acting nervous and confused, looking behind her several times in a paranoid manner. But what is most concerning about this unexpected visit was the large kitchen knife in her hand, that she looks down at several times in the footage. While the generally accepted theory on this was that the woman has some form of dementia, and while this may be a realistic explanation, this cannot be 100% confirmed simply based on the video. While it is unfortunate if she does in fact have dementia or any other sort of illness that caused her to do this, it would still be hard to imagine just how scary this would be for the owner of the house waking up in the middle of the night to this footage from his doorbell camera. Surveillance cameras in general have come a long way in providing security to people's properties. While Ring doorbell cameras continue to prove to be useful in adding a layer of defense or serving as a mental deterrent to uninvited guests, you clearly have to be cautious about setting up these cameras on the inside of your house because of the potential for hackers to gain access to them, as seen in the first two examples in this video. This first one was submitted by viewer Trent Leons, and when this was recorded, he and his family had recently moved into his grandparents' house. The house is in the middle of nowhere, so the family naturally had their guard down. However, one night at 1 in the morning, while most of the family was asleep, Trent got a notification for Ring that there was motion at the front door. A notification for movement wasn't a concern as the family has outdoor cats that are active at night, but there was definitely reason for concern when it said somebody is at your front door. One of the family members grabbed a gun and went to open the front door, and that's where he started to raise his hands and started asking for help.
Help? Can I use a phone to call a cab?
He asked to use a phone, to which the family gave him a cell phone, and with it he tried calling someone, but to no avail.
No problems. Yep.
He then proceeded to start walking off down the road. As the guy was walking down the road, two of the family members decided to hop in their truck and find out where he was going, and they found him walking down the road and looking like he was going to another house down the road, the nearest one being half a mile away. The two family members decided they didn't want him near their house or any neighboring houses, so they offered he get in the bed of the truck and they drive him into town, and about a couple minutes later, they arrived in town and dropped him off. The whole time he had his hands up and kept looking at the two family members while he backed away from the truck. It could have been assumed that the man was genuinely looking for help and needed to call someone, if it weren't for the fact that other family members reported that the week prior, he was in another neighborhood around the area, allegedly asking for help again, in late hours of the night, going from door to door in dimly lit areas. It's quite possible that he may have been trying to maliciously gain entry into the homes of sympathetic or unsuspecting people. It's unknown if that's the case or if he was ever successful. This one was posted by a Redditor named T Course, and there aren't as many details on this one, other than it happened in a small suburb late on a rainy night. This was way past solicitation or visiting hours. The homeowner wasn't home at the time and saw the notification the next day, which is when they saw this video footage. From the darkness appears a middle-aged woman with an umbrella, with her mouth gaping wide open. She stands there for about 20 seconds after ringing the bell, the whole time with her mouth hanging eerily wide open, aside from closing it for a couple seconds, showing that her mouth didn't appear to be stuck in this hanging open position. She tries the doorbell or another button one more time before walking away and disappearing into the darkness seconds later. The homeowner says he didn't recognize this woman at all. Some people believe it was some kind of condition the woman was suffering. Whether it was or not, this wouldn't explain why she was ringing a stranger's doorbell in the late hours of the night. Perhaps another encounter that a homeowner was lucky to avoid. This footage was captured as a homeowner was entering her house after just getting home. The woman lives in a suburban town in Illinois.
Como pra fora. Oh, don't move. Don't scare, don't. Okay.
The woman in the video was unaware of the fact that she was being watched from the distance by two people hiding in the dark, waiting for her to open her front door. As she steps into her house, the two aggressors take their chance to enter the house while the door is still open. The woman screams as she's startled by the unwelcomed visitor behind her. The first of the two teens to enter the house says don't move and don't scream.
Como pra fora. Oh, don't move. Don't scare, don't.
The rest of what is said between he and the woman is inaudible. However, according to the woman in the video, he demanded her car keys. After handing him her keys, which can be seen in one of the teenager's hands, the two take off towards her car, which they then steal. There was someone else in the house with the woman who was also held at gunpoint alongside her. He also remains nameless. The woman wasn't harmed, thankfully, and one of the two teenage aggressors were found and arrested, 18-year-old Brendan McCrew. The other aggressor has still yet to be identified. This video is a prime example of why you should always be aware of your surroundings before opening your front door. This past July in 2021, this disturbing footage caught on a couple's Ring doorbell camera surfaced on the web. In the footage, a tattooed man with a long gray beard holding a plastic bag, apparently talking to himself, approached the front door of the couple's house. The man in the video apparently spotted the unnamed wife inside of the house through the kitchen window. He approached the front door, where he repeatedly started saying, "Are you sure? Are you positive? I just have a few questions for you."
Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? What? Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure? I just have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive? I just have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure? Are you absolutely certain?
The wife said she never responded to the man. She simply hid in her home and called 911. The man was standing there knocking on the glass, repeating the same three things over and over to nobody. Her husband, who was not at the home at the time, accessed the intercom system and asked the man who he was as he was walking away. This caused him to come back, look into the camera, and start saying some pretty nasty, disturbing things.
Shit.
So, how are you?
What? Yeah? Are you sure?
Who are you?
Yeah, I just had a couple questions. I just wanted to ask you about making sure. Yeah, can you hear me? What I'm looking for is for the girl that's in the house to come out here because I'm going to rape her and kill her. Do you have her open the door? I'm going to rape and kill the girl that's on the other side of this door when she lets me in. I want to rape her and kill her because I have a knife and a gun. Yeah, and I'm going to knock on her door again. All right.
He was saying he wished to rape and kill her and asked if she could open the door multiple times. After one more unsuccessful knock, the man walked away, talking to himself in different voices as he did.
What?
Police found and arrested the man the next day after another report of a suspicious man in the area, and he was identified as 40-year-old Christopher Sums, a fugitive from California. This footage was captured in Bristol and shows a man approach and knock on Kathleen Frascarelli's door. That in of itself isn't so disturbing, but it's the fact that it was very late on a Sunday night, and the image she saw on her phone was of a masked person on the other side of the door. However, the fact that it was late on a Sunday night, and that the image she saw on the phone was of a masked person on the other side of the door, is enough to give someone pause. While playing back the video footage, Kathleen the homeowner noticed that the masked person tried opening the door at first, but thankfully it was locked. She described the mask as having this grotesque smile that never went away, and still hasn't gone away from her memory. The person knocks and then stands at the door for 15 seconds. Afterwards, the camera catches them pulling their sleeve over their hand, then wiping away their fingerprints from the doorknob they tried to open when they first walked up to the house. The fact that they wiped away their fingerprints already says that they were up to no good, if everything else about this didn't already scream that. Kathleen stated that he had something heavy in his sweatshirt pocket, which he doesn't know what it was. A neighbor who saw the person leaving said he had a bag that he was carrying with him, so God knows what was in there. By the time Kathleen made it downstairs, the person was already in a car parked across the street, which they sped off in. Footage like this is really the scariest because nobody knows how these encounters would have gone down if the doors were opened. On the 22nd of November 2019, at around 8 p.m., a doorbell camera at a home in Harriet Creek Ranch, Texas, captured footage of a young girl approaching the front door. She was holding a flashlight and looked extremely distressed. She also kept checking behind her, likely to see if someone was following her or not.
Help, please.
Unfortunately for her, the house she approached was empty. The residents were away on vacation, so no one was there to answer. This made her even more panicked as she continued to beg for help.
Please help.
By the time the homeowners noticed the footage, it was already too late. The little girl was long gone, and there were no signs of her anywhere in the neighborhood. But the big question remained: who the girl was, and why she had come to their door in such a frightened state that night. The homeowners didn't recognize her, and she didn't look like any of the neighbors' kids either, so they contacted the police and also uploaded the footage online, hoping the video might reach someone with more information on her. Sadly, it's been 6 years since this footage was captured, and no one has been able to identify the young girl. That said, people online have come up with a few theories that might contain some truth. The more cynical side of the internet believes the girl was nothing more than bait for a group of robbers hiding just outside the camera's view. It's a known tactic where robbers send a scared-looking child or woman to the front door. Out of concern, the homeowner opens the door to help, only for the robbers to appear from hiding and force their way inside. However, this theory doesn't really hold up when you consider just how genuinely distressed the girl sounded. Her voice and the frantic way she knocked seemed too real for a child that age to be faking. The more likely and more tragic theory is that this girl was 9-year-old Serenity Dennard, who had gone missing earlier that year. Serenity had been diagnosed with reactive detachment disorder and disruptive mood dysregulation disorder, which caused emotional instability and frequent attempts to run away. She was admitted to Black Hills Children's Home, a youth treatment facility near Rockerville, South Dakota. Unfortunately, the staff weren't able to keep a proper eye on her, resulting in her running away from the facility on the 3rd of February 2019. A massive search effort involving over 1,200 people was launched, but despite their best efforts, they couldn't find any clues about her whereabouts. The working theory was that she likely ran into the wooded area surrounding the facility, got lost, and succumbed to hyperthermia. However, police didn't rule out foul play. This is where the mysterious doorbell footage comes in. Many speculated that the girl in the video was Serenity, who had gone missing 9 months earlier. It's possible that a kidnapper took her to another state, and after months in captivity, she escaped and tried to ask for help. Though Serenity's family viewed the footage and said the girl wasn't her, many people online still believe it was. Unfortunately, none of the theories were ever confirmed or disproven. Investigators weren't able to find Serenity, and search efforts were officially suspended in early 2021, and the girl in the haunting doorbell video was never identified either, leaving her case an unsolved mystery. On the morning of July 31st, 2022, just before 11 a.m., 22-year-old Allison Duckrow and her mother returned to their home in Sydney, Ohio after breakfast. While making their way inside, an unknown car pulled into their driveway. A second later, the driver approached the front door, 22-year-old James Rail, Allison's ex-boyfriend. The two had broken up over 18 months earlier and hadn't spoken since. The night before, he had sent her a creepy voice note saying he would visit her the next day.
Hi, Allie. It's James. I just wanted to reach out to you because I just wanted to see how you're doing and maybe hear from you if that would be alright, I guess. It's been a while since I've talked to you, and I don't know. I feel like it, I don't know what I feel. I do know that I do want to talk to you, though. I do. It'd be nice. Be sweet. It's probably late right now, but if you want tomorrow, you could probably give me a call. And yeah, it's about it. Please give me a call back. Thank you.
Allison never responded or gave permission, but he showed up anyway. She recognized him through the live camera feed and decided to ignore him. After about 3 minutes, James left the porch, only to circle the house looking for another way in. When that failed, he returned to the front door again and began trying to break his way in. When Allison and her family didn't open the door, he became agitated and started forcing it, with James refusing to stop. Allison's father was left with no choice but to use his firearm, ending the confrontation minutes later. The family had already called the police, but no one could have anticipated the scene that awaited them. Allison and her dad were questioned, and her father later stood trial on August 4th, 2022.
So if you would, I understand, were you aware of the text messages that James had sent your daughter last night?
Was not.
Okay, so your daughter did not share those with you?
No.
Okay.
Thanks to the doorbell camera footage, he was acquitted of all charges on the basis of self-defense. On the night of January 18th, 2025, a homeowner in Carrollton, North Texas received a doorbell notification while out shopping. When she checked the live feed, she saw a mysterious man standing on her porch dressed in all black with a red face and holding what looked like a cardboard box. He moved closer, revealing that he was wearing a red satanic goat mask. He rang the doorbell and then walked away, leaving behind a sign with the words Revelation chapter 20, verses 1 to 15. The verse references the binding of Satan, resurrection, judgment, and eternal torment, making the visit even more disturbing. The homeowner called the police, but since the man hadn't committed a crime, they couldn't do much. As she later said in an interview, I'm scared to leave the house. I'm scared to be at the house." The story was later dropped by the media, and no follow-up information was ever reported. On July 21st, 2023, two elderly women visited the home of their friend, 58-year-old Sharon Gordon, in Dudley, UK. They hadn't heard from her in days, and upon entering, they discovered her lying face down near the stairs, covered in blood. Police arrived quickly and confirmed it was a homicide. Investigators then checked the doorbell footage, which showed the last visitor to Sharon's home, her contractor, Peter Norgrove. He initially claimed Sharon was alive when he left, but footage revealed him leaving with bloodstains on his trousers. Investigators also found the weapon he used in his shed, and he later confessed. Sharon had hired him to build an extension, but after 15 months of delays and poor work, she confronted him. Peter lost his temper and attacked her with a hammer. He later pleaded guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. On October 6, 2024, Kristen Paul was watching TV at her home in Fresno, California, waiting for her husband to return. Just after midnight, the doorbell rang. Assuming it was her husband, she opened the door, only to find an unknown woman with a crazed look. Christine slammed the door shut, but the woman became enraged and began trying to force it open. When that failed, she tried breaking in through a nearby window. Christine called the police while arming herself for protection. Luckily, an officer arrived within minutes and de-escalated the situation.
Hi.
Hi.
You live here?
No, wait, tell me.
So why are you banging on the door?
Because my friend is up there.
Despite her erratic behavior, the woman immediately calmed down when confronted by police and was taken into custody. Christine later said she was just thankful the officer wasn't a minute later. On August 12, 2025, the Wilson family was asleep in their home in Midlothian, Texas. At around 1 a.m., 21-year-old Malia noticed a bright flash outside. When she ran downstairs, she saw their front yard engulfed in flames, just inches from the house.
Came halfway down the stairs and I seen this window right here just lit up in flames, and I just ran and got my dad.
She woke her father, who called the fire department. Firefighters arrived within minutes and extinguished the flames before they reached the home. The doorbell camera revealed that someone had poured gasoline around the house and set it on fire before fleeing. The suspect wore a hoodie and mask, concealing their identity. The homeowner, Darrell Wilson, believed the attack was retaliation for a lawsuit he had filed against a former employer. However, police had not caught the arsonist, leaving the family terrified the attacker might return. In the early morning of March 11, 2025, a homeowner in North York, Pennsylvania, was awoken by strange movement on their porch. The footage showed a person wearing a colorful tie-dye cloak and a paper plate mask decorated with jagged teeth and red eyes. They carried a cardboard box, which they placed on the doormat before announcing themselves as the Box Demon.
I am the Box Demon.
A faint lullaby played in the background as they walked away into the darkness. Thankfully, the box was empty. People online later suggested the figure was dressed as Dandy, a Roblox horror character, though the meaning behind the act remains a mystery. In June 2023, the mother of Instagram model Guste Genescate noticed something disturbing in their doorbell footage. An unknown man had been following Guste home and was seen lingering around the house. He looked through the windows and wandered around the property. Terrified, her mother called the police, but they couldn't take action since no crime had been committed. Unable to sleep, Guste set up a rope booby trap in the yard. A week later, the man returned and tripped on it around 2 a.m. When Guste checked the camera, she saw him standing right outside her bedroom window, staring inside. She woke her mother, who banged on the window and scared him away. Another woman in the neighborhood later reported the same man. Despite having a clear image of his face, police were unable to identify him, forcing Guste and her mother to move. As of now, the stalker remains unidentified. Late one night in an Alexandria, Virginia neighborhood, a doorbell camera captured pure horror. Three masked figures in full Halloween costumes stood outside a home at around 10 p.m. and refused to leave. One of the occupants, Shayla, initially thought it was a prank and even greeted them with Happy Halloween. But within seconds, the mood changed. The trio rang the bell, shook the doorknob, and kept knocking, the knocks growing louder and more aggressive.
Open the door! Open the door!
When they couldn't force open the front door, they moved to the backyard, slashed through a wooden fence, smashed a deck screen, and pounded on the windows, taunting the family inside. They threatened to kill the occupants, telling them it's either you coming out or we coming in.
Either you come out or we coming in!
The ordeal lasted about 6 to 10 minutes before the masked intruders finally left, but not before leaving the family shaken and fearful. The homeowner's daughter later said they were forced into hiding and felt unsafe in their own home.
He just died, so it's just like, I'm just glad I was there. Now she's in fear. She don't want to stay there by herself. It could have been bad. Our Second Amendment right was not used and could have been, like, being very transparent.
Authorities launched a criminal investigation for attempted burglary and criminal threats. It's been a long year since I've done a Ring cameras video, and as it turns out, people are still creeps and a lot of new videos have surfaced, so let's look at some of them. This first video is a very real and grisly reminder that danger can be following you anywhere at any time, even to your front door. And it can be a lesson, especially for women, to be alert of your surroundings, especially before opening your front door. As you just saw, a mother holding her infant daughter unknowingly leads a man to her front door and was mere seconds away from him getting inside. As the man approaches the driveway, you can see him pulling up the mask over his face to conceal his identity, clearly with premeditated intentions. As the man walks up the driveway, the daughter takes notice to him as the mother is still completely oblivious to the approaching threat. Luckily, she makes it inside and shuts the door in time. She only realized what had just happened after looking through the terrifying Ring footage. The woman made a report to the police as soon as she saw the footage, and what the police said was disturbing. There had been a series of reports of a brutal and violent rapist in the area who had been targeting women and children. It's suspected that he and this man were the same person. No sane person leaves their house with a full face mask such as this one if they're not knowingly about to commit a serious crime and want to conceal their identity. The woman in the video just may have saved her and her child's life just by the skin of her teeth. If you're not convinced of just how often this kind of thing happens, here's a similar video. A young college-age looking girl is coming home, letting herself into her house. Not even 5 seconds after she enters the home, 2 large men step on the porch, and the one in front immediately tries to open the door. Some people think the men looked genuinely confused and may have had the wrong house. However, the short window of time between the girl entering the house and the men stepping on the porch would have definitely allowed them to see the girl. You'd think anyone who just tries to open the door to a house surely must know they have the right house, or at the very least know who lives in the house. It could also be argued that when the man turns to his friend behind him, he's making mention of the camera, and so he pretends to think he has the right house by sticking around and knocking, despite the obvious screams from the girl inside as she notices the men at the door. It seems they only run off after the girl starts screaming, "We're calling the police." So unlike the first video, there's no 100% proof of whether these guys had bad intentions or not. Whether they were trying to grab the girl, or if they genuinely had the wrong house is up for debate, as there's no further info on this video. If it is the second one, still, everything about the men's actions was sketchy. In this video, on the other hand, what's going on couldn't be more clear. In the early morning hours on October 16th in Kent, Washington, a couple's seen returning home. The husband is seen unlocking the door, and seconds later, as the man's wife follows behind, she turns her head to a gun-wielding suspect chasing behind her. She acts quickly and runs inside, locking the front door. The suspect then spots the Ring camera and hits it repeatedly with his gun, effectively breaking the device. It's at this time that you can notice a second man there as well. The couple spent their night at a casino, and for this reason, the wife believes the two men followed them home from the casino hoping to rob them of any of their winnings. Fortunately, they made it inside safely. The suspect with the gun was identified by police as 18-year-old Al Hussein Drameh, and he was arrested on October 26th. He faced multiple charges, including burglary in the first degree, and he pleaded not guilty to all of them. With this fourth video, we move to something a little more paranormal. This was caught on a TikToker named Nolan Brock's indoor Ring security camera while he was sleeping on the couch. At 1:39 in the morning, he's awoken to the pantry doors opening and some kind of cracks or bangs coming from either inside the pantry or from the doors themselves. With the fan running, the thought of it being a draft wasn't out of the question per se. He ignored it and tried to go back to sleep, but 4 minutes later at 1:43, this happened. One of the doors is aggressively yanked shut, and this officially removes any possibility of a draft being the cause of the doors moving. It's safe to assume he slept in his bed the rest of the night. This next video also comes from inside of a house instead of the front porch, and this one can play on one of the biggest fears of a lot of people, and that is someone lurking around your house as you sleep. In Wichita, Kansas, a family's Ring cameras captured some terrifying video footage of a stranger standing directly over sleeping 15-year-old Anaya Robinson at around 2:30 a.m. on a Friday night. This was the footage captured. Anaya said once she opened her eyes, she felt like she was in a scene from a horror movie, seeing somebody sitting over her, watching her that she didn't know. Anaya rushed to her mother Angel's room, screaming there's somebody in the house, and after being jolted awake, Angel made sure her 2-year-old daughter and Anaya were safe in a room before calling the police. Wichita police responded quickly, but the intruder was already gone. It's likely the boy entered the house simply through the front door. Luckily, the Ring cameras clearly caught his face, and using this footage, the police acted on a tip and were able to arrest a 14-year-old boy whose name was not released. The boy faced aggravated burglary and theft charges. In November 2021, a woman reported on Twitter that a creepy-looking man had been standing outside of her apartment almost every night for an entire month. She included a few of the videos caught by her Ring camera, and it shows the man creepily standing there for extended periods of time, facing her door. At certain points, he can be heard speaking. But what he says is impossible to hear. The woman resorted to posting this on Twitter after her complaints to the police apparently fell on deaf ears. It was a few days after her initial post that she posted an update stating that her friends and family confronted the man, which seemingly got him to stop. Additionally, the post going viral prompted her building security to do an additional routine throughout the night. I can't seem to find her Twitter profile anymore, so there don't appear to be any updates on the matter. And in this last video, an El Paso resident's Ring camera catches what appears at first to be a woman in danger seeking help at their front door in the middle of the night, but this may be a much more sinister situation than that. At first, the woman appears to be in distress, possibly on the run from someone, crying and pleading for help. But things start getting suspicious when she hides anytime a car is approaching. Is she hiding from a specific person chasing after her? Or is she perhaps trying to not be seen from any passerbys? After the neighbor's driveway light turns on, a car's headlights approach from the right, and she's seen casually walking away, presumably to get in that unseen car, perhaps because her driver was growing paranoid that too much attention was being drawn, so they needed to leave. Now you could say that's just a far-fetched theory of mine, but a month later, El Paso police arrested a woman who was charged with burglary of habitation. That woman was Krista Nicole Cordeaux. The woman in the video looks identical to the woman in this mugshot. The charge this woman faced is defined as the act of entering any building illegally with the plan to do something serious, such as harming the owner, damaging property, or stealing. Suddenly, the prospect that this woman could have been trying to trick an unsuspecting person into opening their door doesn't seem so far-fetched. As always, keep your doors locked and be careful who you open them to. This is a part 3 to the scariest things caught on doorbell cameras. And once again, by the end of the video, you may consider getting one yourself. In this footage that a viewer sent me, a person can be seen crouch walking towards his front door through his doorbell camera. The person was wearing a hat, face mask, and sunglasses, allowing none of his face to be seen. After trying to open the front door and failing, the person starts to fiddle with the doorbell, noticing it's a video doorbell, so he probably tries to take it off. What likely happened was that when he realized that he couldn't get the doorbell unmounted without a special screwdriver, he started to hold his hand in front of the camera after ringing the bell. The viewer told me that this happened at 2 in the morning, and so when he heard his doorbell and ring notification go off, he instantly went to his phone to check who was at the door, only to see exactly what you're seeing. The man then walks past the doorbell to the side of the house, and by this point, the homeowner was on the phone with 911 reporting the incident. While on the phone with 911, the homeowner heard the doorknob to the side entrance door being fiddled with, and this was a door that he had been known to leave unlocked accidentally from time to time. However, luckily on this night, that wasn't the case. Since the intruder couldn't simply walk in through either door, he started to say hello repeatedly through the door, in an off-putting tone that sounded so overly friendly that it was creepy. The 911 operator told the homeowner not to open the door or to even acknowledge the person. The person would then start to bang on the door for a few moments until seemingly giving up. The police showed up but couldn't help out much based on the video. Later that night, the homeowner received another notification that there was movement at his front door. When he checked the video feed, he couldn't see anyone. He still has no idea who was under that mask and glasses. This following footage was also captured by a viewer's doorbell camera at their old house, which is still active while he tries to sell it. One morning at around 4:30 a.m., his cameras detected a man running from across the street from his neighbor's home, across his front yard, and up to his front door. The man was naked, with one of his hands blocking his privates. The footage was caught from two angles. He was arrested a short while later by local police, and was apparently high on crystal meth, and he had removed his clothing due to a fear of snakes being inside of his clothes, and he was running around the neighborhood knocking on doors and ringing doorbells yelling for help. The neighborhood is reportedly pretty quiet. The homeowner never had any sort of issues before this. In his words, he ran up my front yard onto my front porch and rang the doorbell. For the next minute or so, he was ringing the doorbell and knocking while pacing back and forth. He looked panicked, and his expression drifted from someone in pain to a look of pure crazy, and at one point said he needs help. After that, he ran off back into the night. The guy was picked up by an officer around 5 a.m. not far from his house. And this footage is why you always check who's at your door before you open it, especially if you have a doorbell camera. If someone who you don't know shows up to your door late at night, don't open it. Unfortunately, in this video, that's exactly what this homeowner did. Around 10 p.m. one night, a suspicious-looking hooded man approaches the front door of a random house rather quickly and aggressively, and he right away tries to open the door. After realizing it's locked, he goes to ring the doorbell. Disappointingly, the homeowner opens the door rather quickly instead of checking who's at his door at this hour first.
Hello. Hi. How far are you, sir? Who are you? Everyone. How are you? Good. You need to leave. How far? Out there. What's the stairs going? What? What's the floor stairs here? Come on, where are you going? What's the stairs here? Goodbye, you.
The homeowner was likely too trusting a person, which put him in danger. Even his initial hi to the stranger at his door sounded overly friendly, considering the man was already creeping in the second the door was opened.
Hello. Hi.
The homeowner pushes the man out, causing him to punch the glass of the door before it's even fully closed. The man then stands there for another minute or so, fiddling with the doorknob a few times, though the rest of the footage is cut off. The dialogue is near impossible to completely make out, but it seemed the man was under the influence of drugs or alcohol, and was likely attempting to burglarize the home. The homeowner called the police, but the man was gone by the time they arrived. It's unknown if he was found. This image was posted from the owner of a Ring camera in a Facebook group to caution others. The woman warned in her post to beware a strange man wearing a white mask lurking around the neighborhood after her camera caught him trying to look into her home a little after 10 p.m. one night. The woman said, "I just want my neighbors to be aware and safe. Please, if possible, share this post. Screenshots are welcome." Not sure what colors he was wearing, but had a hoodie and jeans on. The disturbing picture shows the man in the mask looking directly into the camera. This is exactly the type of image that you'd never want or expect to see come up on your doorbell camera footage. But it's also the kind of image that would make you sure as hell grateful that you had one. Neighbors of the woman also reported seeing the man walking around and approached their front doors. Thankfully, no one opened the door to him. On May 1st, 2020, around 9:40 p.m., around the beginning of the COVID lockdown, a 45-year-old dad, Raymond Hawkins, opened the door to who he believed to be a delivery driver dropping off a parcel. Due to new methods of delivery at the time because of COVID, the alleged delivery driver backed away from the front door to supposedly keep his distance and claimed he needed to take a picture of the package at the doorstep, something many delivery drivers must do for more expensive packages. At this time, the father had his guard down due to the fact that he had no idea the man in front of him wasn't a delivery driver, and that he was in fact part of a gang that was about to storm into his house, all of whom armed with knives. Christopher Sargent, the fake delivery driver, lunges at Raymond with a knife and attacks him when he goes to pick up the package, while 3 other masked men follow from behind. Muffled cries come from the house, as there's a struggle between Raymond, his wife, and the robbers. The robbers are only in the house for a few moments before being seen fleeing the house with thousands of dollars worth of items. Raymond and his son suffered non-life-threatening injuries, while his sons were described to be worse. 2 of the culprits would be arrested, Anthony Lascelles and Christopher Sargent, who were both charged with aggravated burglary and possession of a knife. The other 2 culprits were never found. One thing that can be learned from a lot of these videos is that some people will go to crazy lengths to trick other people. The major red flag in this case was that the supposed delivery was taking place at 9:40 p.m., which is way past the time any notable delivery company will deliver packages, usually the latest being 7 p.m. On April 10th, 2020, this was the footage taken by the Ring doorbell of a viewer's friend Kayla in a small California town. Kayla was being stalked by her crazy former friend Thomas, who became obsessed with her over time and would constantly express his alleged love for her, despite her telling him numerous times that she didn't feel the same way. The week that this footage was taken, Kayla was bombarded with texts and voicemails from Thomas. And as you can see if you care to pause the video and read some of the texts, it starts with what seems to be Kayla accepting his apology for his behavior. However, as the texts and voicemails just keep coming in, she begins to realize how crazy he may be. What you're about to hear are some audio clips from different voicemails he's left on her phone after she had stopped answering him.
Hey, Kayla. Listen, I want to make sure you're not too worried about what happened at the party last week. I had an amazing time, and I think you're goddamn beautiful. And I'm sorry I got so sick. I wanted to come be with you while you were getting ready, and I was just so totally out of it, and I'm sorry. God, I think I might love you, and I'm sorry, and I'm gonna give you some space, and I want to be there for you, and I can't get you out of my fucking head, and I want to be there for you. God damn it. So fucking goddamn it. And all I can do is think of you and want to be with you, and I want to be with you. I want to be your Flynn Rider, and I want to be everything to you. God damn it, babe. You're fucking amazing. You are amazing. You're my knight in shining armor, and I'm so fucking terrified of you, and God, I love you so much. So much. Please call me back. No, I lied. I'm not gonna give you some space. I'm sorry. I'm coming over. I know you're up and thinking about me. I'm sorry. I'm fucking God. I'm not sorry. God, I'm coming over. Fucking, I'm already driving. I've been driving the whole time. God damn it. I'm coming over. Fucking, I'm not gonna give you space. I know you called me back. I saw that. Yep. I know you're up thinking about me. God damn it. Oh, God damn it. I'm coming over. One way or another, I'm coming over. Fucking whatever, however, whatever. God, I'm coming over. I'll see ya. I'll be there in like 10 minutes or whatever. Whatever. I'm coming over right now. Damn it. I'll see ya. Bye. I love you. Rough road. Oh, it's a rough road. Fuck you, Kayla. I am fucking crazy. God damn it. Fuck you. I'll drive into the field. God damn it. Things like that, son. Fuck you. Fuck you, Kayla. I am goddamn crazy. I'm crazy for you. God damn it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it for you. I am crazy. Oh, that would be a cop. That would be a cop. We just don't know. God Alright. I'll settle. Anything for you, my queen. Anything for you. I'll settle. I'm going slow. My phone is dying anyway. I'm still gonna drive by your house in the middle of the night, though. I dare you not to have your blinds open to check. I'm crazy. Maybe you'll never know if I did it. I'll do it.
The footage of him showing up to Kayla's house was right after one of his phone calls saying he's coming over, even though it was clear by this point she wanted nothing to do with him. Eventually, Kayla and her friend Ravon would find out that Thomas wasn't even his real name. His real name is Matthew. He'd been using the fake name Thomas Castle, which was a reference to the Marvel character The Punisher. Thomas was a reference to Thomas Jane, the second actor to play the Punisher, and Castle was a reference to Frank Castle, the Punisher's last name. The fact alone that he had been using a fake name with his friend and supposed love of his life was already a huge red flag, and maybe a sign that he was hiding something in his life. The ring footage was taken at 2 in the morning, and after leaving, he would go on to send some more texts, which would progressively get angrier. 4 days after this footage was taken, Kayla and her friend went to the police and filed for a restraining order. He left her alone about a month or so after the restraining order was put into place. Kayla blocked his number and blocked him on social media, and reportedly he basically disappeared from the world, and no one knows where he is now.